Hello, how you doing? This is I'm actually doing this on my computer. Normally I don't. I usually have my cell phone out and I do my spinny spin, but no spinny spin today because I can't really do it. Just be like, but no, none of that today. I'm doing a video response to KawaiiGardiner. He did a response to me the other day, and because it's the weekend, I can catch up on some of the longer videos. Otherwise, I don't get to. So that's what I am doing now. For those that don't know me, I have a huge beard because I'm fundraising for the Christchurch earthquake relief, because that's where I'm from, and I'll put a link down below and you can have a look. And I'm growing it for 183 days based on how many people died in the Christchurch earthquake. Now, there's a couple of things that I'm going to cover. The reason why I'm doing it on this is because it goes longer than I normally would. So, I don't know, just a long video. So I'm just going to bring up my notes, and hopefully it's still recording, because it should be. So first thing, if it sounds like I'm reading off sometimes, that's probably why, because I am. I try not to though, because it's not always the most effective. It's not a speech, Dean, it's something else. I need to just let the natural flow go. So I think the first point that I'm going to cover is the conspiracy side of things. Totally understand where you're coming from when conspiracies come out of the fact that people don't understand why things are happening, and so they look at aspects and they try to make up their own belief system around them. When, for instance, as you say, people are coming together because they have their own individual interests, and the individual interests that they have, it's for them, for usually these. I'm going to use the Bilderberg group because it's the largest one that doesn't get the media attention when I think it should. So why are these so-called absolutely powerful people getting these media attentions, yet people that go to the G20 are there's huge media contingents there, but this Bilderberg group have 125, 150 people that are the world's leaders and financial leaders and business leaders. They all are coming together, and the meeting now, in essence, that's business. They are coming together for some sort of business. Why else would they come together? Not coming together for a cup of tea. So they're coming together, and people don't know about what they're doing because they're not open about it. However, in saying that, they say they are now. However, they've been around for something like 50 years, and during that time, they haven't been open. It's only in the last couple of years that they ended up being discovered, because it was a secret group before that. They now have a website, and they throw out some kind of a plan of what they're actually doing or what they're talking about there. However, then there's still a lot of things that they somehow, or the people that do follow it, do come across and learn more about what's happening. And to think that these people that are coming together are not working together, I don't. They have to be working together at something. And as you said, personal interest. They are looking after themselves. But because they're looking after themselves, they are causing issues to other people. Whether that is economic issues, whether that is war-related, they are still issues. Humanitarian, they're all issues that are put there. Yet they are not discussed to the media. Media are not following it. So that is a conspiracy. They are conspiring. Conspiracy is when people actually come together. The theory is that when people put something towards it. So in essence, the conspiracy is they're conspiring together. So that's it. That's all it is. They're conspiring. The theory is people don't understand what they're doing, or don't know what they're doing, and so they're making up things. However, you make up things based on what you know. Based on, because I watch a lot of alternative media, and I do watch Alex Jones, and that's where I get a lot of the conspiracy side of things, and I watch him. I think he's a bit of a douche most of the time, and I don't believe in a lot of things that he does, but he comes across as a nice person, but he just some stupid things, like I'm an atheist, and I always think that if you are a conspiracy theorist, you could at least question your faith before you actually question other things. So to me, that always amuses me. But he's got these people that they talk to him, and they are revealing things, and in the past they've revealed things that have actually come true. So it's not like the conspiracy is them together. The theory is that, hey, what are they doing? But then the facts are coming forward, and these predictions of what is going to happen in the future based on, hey, these people are conspiring together. Those are situations of fact. That's what happens. That's the world we live in. And you are totally right. Individual needs and wants and greed and money causes a lot of the problems. Power. So, but the theory is people don't know what's happening, so that's why the theory is put there. Well, necessarily don't know what's happening, but they make it up because mainstream media doesn't always throw out the things. And I've only really I don't know, opened up, but just looked at these other areas and was like, oh, okay. So I've always been open to them, but it is interesting when you actually look more in the alternative media. I don't take everything alternative media says, just as I don't take everything that mainstream media says, but that's just how it is. You always got to go with what you know. In the end, the only things that we should know is scientific facts. If it's in a journal, then we should take it as truth because it's been peer reviewed and looked at. And yeah, what have I got here? You then went on to the fact that I support the Greens. I support the Greens, but I'm not a member of the Greens or anything, and my whole spectrum has gone from ACT all the way down. Mainly because of probably more so my environmental desire or environmental conscience about what's happening. However, when it comes down to things that you said, carbon tax, I think that's absolute rubbish. The carbon tax is stupid because people are going to, these corporations are going to pollute anyway, and they're just throwing a tax on there where they can just throw a bit of money. And the thing is, it's not just those people. Eventually, or for what I understand, I might be totally wrong, but from what I understand, the tax is eventually going to be passed out to everyone, so everyone's going to have a little, minute cent or something here and there, but it's all passed on to other people to pretend they are helping out, when money is not the answer in any case. So that the taxation because you are polluting is bull. So I am not for anyone that says, hey, we've got to actually tax because it's going to save the world. No, it's not going to save the world. What you need is actually a social conscience, or a change in social conscience, away from the fact that money and greed is causing problems. They are causing, money and greed is creating corporations that are just making what they need to do to make a profit, and that is the individual need you talk about. They care about themselves only, and the social conscience is lacking. Just as a side note, as part of a conspiracy, this is the conspiracy that goes along with carbon tax, just in a bit of a nutshell. Mainstream media are pushing the whole carbon tax because it is run by the conglomerates and the big head honchos, and the people that have set up the carbon tax system, one being Al Gore. He is pushing it because he's actually one of the ones that will benefit from the carbon tax. That's the conspiracy side. That's from what I've learned, not necessarily saying that's the truth. That's just what is going around in the conspiracy circles. And I don't know, there's self-interest again. For instance, let's just take, if this is true, Al Gore, he pushes the whole greenhouse gases, world climate change, which is true. I believe it is. If you go into the scientific journals, yes, peer review, that's how it is. But the self-interest will show that because of the monetary system, he's gone and he's going to profit from this because he's going to actually have a monetary involvement. People are going to actually be paying tax into his automated system, electronic system or something, and so he'll be taking a little bit of a chunk from it. So that's just from the conspiracy side. I'm not saying it's true, I'm just saying that's just what I've heard. So that's the interest there. And it won't be just him. The media and everything, as you know, media changes everything, just corrupts everything. What else have I got? Yeah, social responsibility in the end. I think that's the main key. And I don't know if you watch all my videos, but I just mentioned some about this yesterday. in the end, the social responsibility is the overall key, because if people are not actually helping, they've got to help themselves first. But if they're not actually going out and going, okay, I'm fulfilled, which half the time that's actually hard to do. They're not fulfilled in the basic needs. Because the basic needs are not fulfilled, then they will strive to find something else, which in the end will be detrimental, most likely to the environment and to the cultural environment and the people around them. So those environments then become, I don't know, poisoned. And so that's where the social conscience and the social and environmental conscience needs to change, so that people are more involved within a community, or more helpful and so forth. Saying that, we've come so far that it's actually it'll be a hard thing to do. And the main thing is, because we live in a monetary society, and this is where I'm going into more Zeitgeist stuff now. I'm a Zeitgeist supporter. I'm not actively in there. I'm still learning. Half the stuff I'm still learning, because I don't think you can actually make a full-on opinion. And again, I don't believe in opinions, because opinions are based on what you just believe. It doesn't mean it's actually fact-based. If someone tells me a fact and I can actually see it and all that kind of stuff, and it's all backed up, then I'll change my opinion, because the fact is I was wrong. And I think that's a lot of the problems. A lot of people don't change their opinions because they think, oh, I'm wrong. That's the thing about faith, you know. People don't want to... faith is such a horrible word. Faith is a horrible word because they don't actually go on what is true. They just believe, and belief doesn't get you anywhere. I'm getting off topic. I won't go to that one. Overall, we have a finite world, and finite resources, and the more we actually just pillage this world, we're going to have a lot more issues. And the monetary society is showing that, because it's the scarcity of things is put up a price, and because people are not getting paid the same amount they used to, things are becoming more hardcore when it comes to lack of money, lack of food, and so forth. So we need to actually look after the world, and that's where the Zeitgeist movement there. What have I got? When it comes to government, I'm not for big government myself. I am for smaller government. However, in saying that, I'm actually probably more closely going towards the anarchist side of things, where even though I don't know, maybe one day I will. I've got this idea that I could get involved in politics, but the anarchist side of things is more so where I believe it should go. But in saying that, the resource-based economy is the ultimate thing that I would believe in, because it is using the resources for the whole of society and people in it. If you've never seen the Zeitgeist movies, ignore the first one. It's funny because people always say, "I'll just ignore the first one because of the religion." People are scared of the religion thing. People are scared of the conspiracy of the Twin Towers coming down. But again, if you look at facts, if you understand science, if you understand the laws of physics, or at least acknowledge the laws of physics, you will actually see things there. But in the end, the number 2 and 3 of Zeitgeist, addendum and moving forward, it goes on to the monetary system. And that's where I go and come on to the economics, where you were talking about in the second part of your video. Economics, it's just... first, the resource-based economy is based on scientific fact. You arrive at a decision. You don't make a decision. We can just make a decision. I can make a decision to... eat my apple or eat my mandarin. But if I was to arrive at a decision based on the facts that I know, for instance, actually I don't know any facts about these, so that's kind of the hard thing. But if I was wanting to be more full, I'd eat my apple. So that's arriving at a decision. If I was wanting something a bit more sweeter, I think my mandarin is sweeter, so that's how I'd arrive at my decision. I don't make a decision. if I make a decision, I've got to go, oh, which one will I have? I'll just take that one. That's just making a decision. I arrive at a decision, and that can be done with all things and within regards to engineering and creating a society. And that is where I think we need to go as a world, as a collective. And that's the thing, it is the collective. And when it comes down to the whole conspiracy things, the whole New World Order and things like that, I don't believe there is a New World Order as such. I just believe there is a lot of corrupt people that are addicted to money and want to rule the world based on the fact that they can keep making money, and they don't care about other people. So it's the social change and social responsibility that is being lacking there. But yeah, if you do look at the other movies, those ones there do cover this a lot more in depth if you haven't seen them already. And I think if you have seen them, you'd know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I think you'd appreciate them a lot, only because it's a different side of things, different thinking. And it goes into some great detail into the economic system, into the addiction, into criminal justice, and it all, in the end, society is based on culture, and the culture and the environment, the social environment, is what dictates or what influences what we are. We are all dictated by culture and society. You know this a lot based on your understanding of the Islamic faith. You understand the faith so well that you comprehend it. Yet your cultural aspects are coming from the Western world and throwing it into there, and so, because of that, do you ever, I'm not saying you don't, I'm just saying, do you ever criticize what we do in the Western world as much as you are criticizing what they're doing over there? That's one thing that I'm doing, is I'm criticizing the Western world a lot more, because we have a system that's worse off than most, I believe, at the moment, and that comes down on the economic side of things, and it's the economic system that is causing that. And that is based on, and you're going on about the different thoughts and so forth of economics. I don't know any of that stuff. The Amazing Atheist on his TJ Does Life channel did a nice video the other day, just talking about people that use big words and so forth like that. I'm not saying you do, but you know, I don't remember big words half the time. And I don't try to even remember names half the time. I have a horrible memory when it comes to that, but I'm happy to talk in layman's terms and just get down to the point, and hopefully I can get these things done pretty well at times. However, I know I do ramble a bit. Economics, overall, basic thing is, let me just read my notes of what I said. Oh, yeah, okay, so we've got two different styles of economics. The style that we know today is based on academic economics, and the academic economics that survives and that thrives is the one that supports creating more money. So the ones that are doing that are the ones that are going to the businesses and saying, hey, make more money this way, blah blah blah. So because they are making more money, these businesses are then supporting these economists that support this theory. And because of that, it's the give and take. Hey, we'll give you economists more money because, hey, you're helping us out. You're telling us what to do, how to play off the system, and the companies then flourish there. However, because that's based on academic economics that work. That's the thing. Economics wants to become a science. The thing is, it's too corrupt. There's no peer review involved in economic science. If there was, or economics, there's no science in it. It's all theory. And the thing is, the problem is, the ones that actually create the money, and this is the self-interest again, the ones that actually create the money are the ones that actually thrive. The ones that are saying that these are the other economics that are saying, hey, the falsehoods, and you've probably seen this on the Real News Network, the 27 things or something like that, why things that we learn in economics are wrong or something, whatever it's called. Because we're not taught that. I've only done basic economics when I did one of my degrees, and yeah, economics, when I took it as face value because I didn't really know anything from the academic side of things, but I also had this little inkling of saying, hey, something's not right here, it's so much involved for the sake of being involved. But in saying that, there is a lot involved, if you understand what I'm saying there. However, the fact that people are throwing off their agenda, their aspect to create a world that supports their theory, of course, it's that stampede. The more and more that actually getting behind it, based on the fact that monetary system is what controls our world, it's going to survive. Yet the other ones that are not, and then the media comes involved here too, because the other ones that are not, that support, hey, that economic system isn't true. The economy means a balance, and balance is all gone. Balance is totally gone now. So the ones that are actually going for, hey, we need the balance, they are not heard because they're not paying, or they're not getting supported by the academic, the leading academic economists. So big business wins out, money wins out, greed wins out, and that's half the problem. And yeah, in the end, it's all about corruption. They become. I think if you ever go watch something, Inside Job, it's about the 2008 financial collapse in the States. I think you'd enjoy that if you haven't seen it already. It goes into detail about how the collapse happened, and it shows this. It shows why people have lost their houses because of the corrupt system that America has provided. And that's the thing. Once the economic system in Europe fails, which it is, the bailing out has only been supported because they can rape and pillage the nations over there, just squashing the little people. And because of that, the big banks are surviving there. The thing is, if the big banks go down, they know that they'll get another bailout, and the people that are making all the money are at the top, based on the economic system that is being said, hey, this is how the economics works. No, the economic system does not work that way. The economic system is flawed. It is not a science based on what they do. Most of the economists in the past that have won those Nobel Economist Prizes, laureates, things, they yeah, I don't know, the more I've learned more about the more I've seen of the Nobel Prize, after especially Obama, and he's getting the Peace Prize, and then seeing all these economists that have been getting prizes too, they come with an understanding of economics. Doesn't mean it's the right understanding. So I'm starting to ramble. Overall, economic system is going to collapse. Economic system is coming to a collapse. Whatever they do, whatever you want to do, whatever happens with regards to money getting thrown at it, is not going to do anything. It's on a downward spiral. Debt is inevitable. With the debt that's there, we can't pay back debt. There's more debt in the system than there is anything else. No way, and the interest creates more debt on top of that. There's no way to pay back everything. So because of that, the world is going down. Even if everything was to come out of this right now and survive this time round, in another wee while, it will be all over again. It's come to the point where it's got to the bottom of the sinkhole and it's about to disappear. It's over. So because it's over, we're going to have all the turmoil that's happening. So whatever economics that you want to play around with, that economics is not going to survive, because people are going to revolt. People are going to stand up for it. And if not, they're just brainwashed, which is the mainstream media, which has been bought by the big business, which has been enticed by the economists. Again, that's one reason why I enjoy the Real News Network. It's one reason why I enjoy RT, only because it actually provides a different aspect to the Western world. And yeah, so be it. It might have things there. Geez, politics is politics. However, when you look at the different things, if you've got one country looking at another country, you're going to get propaganda on both sides. And we have always, in our culture, we've been brought up with American propaganda, westernized propaganda, and we need to look through that. And part of the economics is part of that propaganda. Challenge you to actually look into that a bit more if you do. And anything else. Do love your videos, so keep them up. Always enjoy them. Half the time some of your stuff goes over my head, but as I said, do enjoy them. Sweet. And one more thing. Remember Building 7. Ha ha!